Hello makers and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, be sure to join the family by subscribing and ringing that notification bell. Today's tutorial will be making this color block sweater, which is very simple. Just stick around. It is available in 9 different sizes. Also, the pattern is available for free. Find the link in the description box below. If you want the paid pattern, you will also find the link down there. Let's get into the tutorial. Grabbing your 4.5mm hook, you are going to grab your strand of yarn, create a slip knot, just like that, and we are going to start by making a chain of 11. Just like that. Now, into the second chain from the hook, we're going to go in with a slip stitch, just like so, and into the second, third, and all the way down. Make sure you're not making the slip stitches very tight, because we are going to have to work into them again on our way back up. And if you haven't already, guys, please subscribe. So that's the very last one, just like that. Once we reach the last chain, chain 1 and turn. Now from here on, we're going to be working into the back loops only. Still doing the slip stitches, so just like that. Back loops of the slip stitches all the way to the end of the row. Once you reach the end of the row, you're also going to do a chain up of 1, turn, continue working into the back loops only, placing slip stitches. So we're going to place the slip stitches for a total of 60 rows. That's for the size small that I'm making. And then after we're done, we're just going to close the collar, since this is the collar, seam it up and put it aside, and then we will begin to work on our body portion. So let's just finish this row together, and that's the very last one. Chain 1, turn, continue with the slip stitches, just like so. So I'm going to finish the 60 rows off camera. This is a size small, just a reminder. So I'm going to be doing 60 rows of the slip stitches. So I'll finish off camera and then I'll meet you once I am done, so that we can now get started on the body portion. After you're done, like I said, you're just going to close it and seam the sides closed, and then I'll meet you right after. So I already took a head start on the sweater, but after you have gone around with your 60 rows of single crochet, or whatever number of rows that you need to go around placing, we're gonna sew the side close, as I did right here, as you can see, and then we are gonna go around placing single crochet into each and every row, going around our band. And if you did 60 rows, you should end up with 60 single crochets, just as I did. And then you just want to mark the first one with a stitch marker, because that's going to make sense as we get into the second part, which we are trying to do this beautiful work that you can see right here. And how we do this, I'm about to show you. So on to the next part of the tutorial. I'm just going to move this piece aside. Just going to lay it to the side right there. So we are going to start with our 5mm hook, and since the bottom band is made up of the black, let me just bring this back. The bottom band is made up of the black. We are going to start by chaining that. So this is my black. I'm just going to make a slip knot, and I have a total of 10 for the band, so I'm going to do a chain up of 10 as loose as I can. So no need for a stitch marker, since the color is going to show you that we're done. So putting this aside, the next color is peach. I'm going to grab my peach yarn, make a slip knot, insert the hook. And for the peach, for the size small, we're doing 25 chains, 25 of this, 25 of this as well. So I am going to connect the yarn, slip it through the black just like that, and I'm going to do a chain up of 25. Remember, as loose as you can. And that's 25. And then I'll put this aside, grab the grey. It is a very messy work, as you can see, and it requires your patience. And it's best if you have your yarn into little balls. Connect that to the hook, just like that. Pull it through, like that. And then I'm gonna do a chain of 25 with the grey. And that is 25. And now finally, off to the white. So for the white, I've got 15 at the top, and that is what I am gonna do. Just connect that to my stitch mark, my hook, just like that. Pull it through, and then I'll chain 15. And there we go. So blocking off that last chain, we're gonna do one to turn. So far this is what that work should be looking like. So I'm just gonna lay it somewhere so that you can see. It's looking very messy, trust me, and you will be moving around a lot of yarn balls. So let's get started. Remember, we're gonna be working into the back bumps, so you're gonna see me tilt my work back here. This is our first chain and this is our second. So into the back bump of the second chain, we're gonna go in with a half double slip stitch. And into the second one and all the way down. Just placing half double slip stitches, and this is exactly why I said you want to make sure they're not so tight, because you don't want to have a hard time going into those back bumps. So how we change the color is where the trick is, and it's really not so difficult, because once you get the hang of it, it will just come to you naturally. So I'm just gonna work my way until I've got one more stitch, until I have to change color, which I am almost there. So I've got one more stitch before I'm having to change colors. So into the last one, I'm going to yarn over as normal, insert my hook. Now instead of finishing off the row by yarning over and slip stitching through, I am now going to bring this white yarn towards me like this, and then I'm going to grab my grey, and I'll use the grey to finish off the row, just like that. Let's do that again. You've got one more white stitch chain to work into. You're going to yarn over, insert your hook. You will not finish the row. Rather, you're going to grab the white yarn that you are working with and just lay it towards you like this. So you're going to bring your whole ball of white yarn towards you like this. And now you're going to grab your grey, which is going to be on the other side, and you're going to finish off that row with that grey. Just like that. And then from here on, continue with the grey as you were. Back bumps only, not to forget. So this is the front, so this is going to be the back. just like that. And once I get to the last gray, I'm gonna do the very same thing. So I'm gonna pause the video, work really fast until I get to the one last chain of gray so that we can change together again. So here we are, one more stitch of gray left to work into, and I will finish that off with you. Insert the hook into the back bump, don't finish the row, grab the working gray yarn, lay it towards you just like that, and obviously the pink is away from you, so let me just fix this right now. The pink is away from you, and you're going to finish the work with the pink. There we go. And then from here on, going downwards, back bumps only, pink. So I believe by now you have got the hang of it. Oh, hold on. There we go. I believe by now you have got the hang of it. So once you get into the very last chain of pink, we are going to be switching to the single crochet to form the band, that is. So I will meet you once you get there so that we can do the band together. So here we are, one more pink, insert my hook just like that, bring the pink towards me, and then with the black yarn I will finish the row, a half double slip stitch with the black yarn, just like that. So I'm just going to pull this out because now I'm done with my 5mm. I need to grab my 4.5. There we go, and finish off the row with the single crochets. Still working into the back bumps. So the black, I know is very hard to see. Forgive me for that. Even I can't see, can you imagine? So just into the back bumps, I'm going to go in with single crochets. 10 in this case. So let me just pause the video because I'm sure right now you cannot see a thing. I don't want to waste your time, but all I'm doing is placing single crochets into the back bump. So might as well finish since we're already at the end. There we go. So at the end you just want to do a chain of 1. Okay, one more. There we go. Come on. Yes, there we go. You want to do a chain of 1. Did I finish that correct? Okay. There we go. Chain 1 and 10. And then into the back loops only of the work, still going in with the single crochets, back bumps, back loops only, or front loops, however you want to call it. Like I said, no need for a stitch marker because you're gonna know that you're done with the band when you've worked into the very last row of your black. So let me just show you how we're gonna switch colors for the black, and then I'll let you carry on by yourselves for the required number of rows for your size. Reminder, a free written pattern is available, or if you want to purchase one, that would be amazing. Support our business. So into the last single crochet, insert my hook, grab the yarn, pull it through. Instead of finishing it over as we do the single crochet, I'm just gonna bring my yarn towards me, the black towards me, and I will finish off. When I leave that out, I'll finish off with the pink. And obviously right now I need to place aside my 4.5, bring through my 5mm hook, and then hold on, let me fix my yarn. Continue with the half double slip stitches with the 5mm hook, and we'll be switching colors where necessary as we have discussed. So for size small, you want to go on and do this for a total of 10 rows, and then we're gonna start joining to the collar. So I'm gonna go and do this for a total of 10 rows, and then I'll meet you so that we can start joining to our collar. And so after the 10 rows, this is what your work should be looking like. So right about now, we're gonna grab our collar. I'll be working on the other side, but for you it's going to be the first side. And where your stitch marker is on your collar, you're just going to locate the place. I think I'm going to connect this side, my next available single crochet, which is this one right here. So we're going to assume that's where your stitch marker is. Now all you're going to do is insert your hook, grab your white yarn, and just slip stitch to join, just like that. So now we've joined this 10th row. To begin a new row, you're going to slip stitch into the next available single crochet on the collar, and then we will turn our work to begin working back downwards now, and off we go, just as we've been doing. Into that first stitch, half double slip stitch, and everything else will continue just as normal. So let me explain the collar again. You're going to work your way all the way down to the black, and then you work back up. Now when you get to the collar, what you're going to do is find the next available single crochet, and you'll slip stitch into that one to join the row that you just worked. To join the other row, instead of chaining one, you're going to slip stitch into the next available single crochet, and then continue just as we were doing. And you're going to do that for a total of 30 rows, or half of your collar. So for this, since I've got 60 single crochets around, I'm going to do this for a total of 60 single crochets. After I'm done with the 60 single crochets, I'm going to work another 10 normal rows to mirror this side. So do that for this side, and I'll meet you once I am done. And after you're done with one side, you want to do the very same thing for the other side. So let me just finish this, and I'll meet you right back once I've got my back panel done. So now that we've done working our front and back panel, we now want to close the sides. Now we're not going to pick one color to just close the sides with. We're going to have to go according to the colors. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with the black at the bottom. And you want to connect this to your yarn. Just like this. But before we go any further, we want to label out. I'm just going to take the stitch marker. We're going to be leaving 15 stitches at the top for the size small, that is, for the arm opening. So since this is 10, I'm just going to count down 5. For this side, you want to follow the rhythm pattern to know how many stitches you need to leave at the top for your size. And the same for the other side. So I'm going to know that these stitches I'm going to leave untouched, because this is where we're going to be working our arm opening. Alright, so with your yarn on your hook, we are going to single crochet these two sides together. So what you want to do is go into the back loop of the front side of one panel and the back loop of the other panel. And this is where you do a single crochet. Pull through there, pull through there. Oh, there we go. And single crochet. And then you find your next available stitch, just like that. And single crochet. And we're assuming that you have the perfect numbers, whereby if it's 10 on this side, it was also 10. There may be some places where you may have missed or added a stitch, and that's absolutely fine. I can show you a trick on how you can fix that. But that's what we're doing, back loops only and connecting with a single crochet. Back loops only and connecting with a single crochet. As for the tails, you want to make sure you're leaving them out. You don't want them to go on the other side, because the other side is the right side. This is the wrong side. stitches to work into, and the last stitches for the black. And just as we've been doing this entire time, you pull through, you won't finish, pull the yarn towards you, and then, oh, I was looking for the pink there. I'm gonna grab my peach. Create a knot, just like that. And I will use it to finish that off just like that. And then I will continue with the peach. And this is why I emphasized on starting the rows, the foundation rows, into the back bumps, because it makes it easier for us to work into the V's, just like that. So you're going to continue doing as we're doing, switching colors just as we've been doing, until now we get to the stitch marker that we place together right here, and then we can close off the shoulder together, and then I'll help you get started onto the sleeve. And so I have just completed sewing these sides, as you can see, each color belonging to its own block. And now we're going to do this very same thing for the collar, and I will still be using my 4.5mm hook. So I'm just going to connect it to the far end, to the last stitch, and slip stitch through, just like that. And for the rest, we're going in with a single crochet, just as we were doing earlier. So I am just going into the top parts where we were the side chain ones that we were doing at the very top. And that's what I'm doing to close the shoulder portion. And you want to make sure you've closed properly, not leaving any holes. And that's about it. After, you want to just do a chain up of one, grab your scissors and cut, and then we should get started onto the arm opening. So to work the arm, we'll be doing the opposite in terms of color. Since we start with white, gray, peach, black, we're now going to start with black, peach, gray, and white. So just gonna remove this, and we'll be connecting our yarn right here at the corner. So I'm just gonna make a slip knot with the black, which is what we're gonna be beginning with, and join it just like that. Now for the size small, we will be doing a chain of 70, so it'll be 20 black, 20 peach, 20 gray, and 10 of white, just as we were chaining for the rest of the body. So that was one. Making them as spacious as you can. So after the black, we're bringing in the peach. You can do this however you wish. If you still want to follow the color combination like the sweater, you can do so. Okay, so I'm going to do 20 for this as well, and 20 for the white, gray, as loose as you can. Keep losing count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, and 20, and the gray. And finally a white. So with the white we will only be doing 10. And then we'll be switching to our 4.5mm hook and chaining 1 to turn. And as usual, we are going into the back bumps only. As we're doing the rest of the body, we were starting with the single crochets for the bottom band. But since this is the sleeve now and we want to make it as tight as we can, we'll be going in with 10 slip stitches. Back bumps only. When you make them as loose as you can, you're gonna notice that it's so much easier to work into. And the last one. Now, remember the last stitch, as usual. We'll insert our hook. Since this is a slip stitch, we won't pull through. Now we'll let the white yarn fall towards us. Grab the grey, just pull it shut. And I'll use that grey to finish my slip stitch row. Just gonna pull it through because now I'm done with my 4.5 and I'm coming to my 5. Now with the 5 and the rest going up all the way up, we'll be going into the back bumps, placing our half double slip stitch. Switching colors as we've been doing as necessary. So I'll let you guys continue and I'll meet you once we reach the last stitch of the black so that we can join to the body, and I'll let you guys continue from there on. So here we are, done with the sweater. I've turned it the right way around, but you will notice that there's still some parts that are sticking up, so I'm just going to grab my needle and weave them right in, all of the funny parts that are sticking up. But otherwise, this is it guys, we're all done making our color block sweater. I hope you love it as much as I do. Be sure to subscribe, share this video, let's grow this channel. Until next time, bye.